Welcome to Up on the Bars discussion with your host, Roy Bain.
Well, welcome to Thursday nights Up on the Bars. I'm excited to have our next guest on here tonight. We tried to do it a couple of weeks ago and Facebook had other plans for me. So without further ado, welcome Trevor Tiffie.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, thank you for coming on. I know we planned on doing it a couple of weeks ago, but Facebook had other plans for me that particular week. They decided I wasn't worthy of being on Facebook any further. So here we are tonight. So I have to ask you, are you racing this weekend at Southern Oregon? Your microphone is muted there. Something happened here. There you go.
So no, me and the family is actually going to the coast this weekend. We're going to take a weekend off.
Well, that's what everybody's doing. It's a great weekend to do that, right?
Yes, it is. Perfect weekend. It's actually going to be my dad's birthday. He's turning 61, so figure what better way to celebrate it than go to the coast.
Well, happy birthday, Trevor's dad, early. But I know everybody was excited. I started getting a few messages. Everybody talks about how much they love you down there. So tell us where you're from, Trevor.
Oh, from right here, Wairika, California. I was originally born and raised in Stockton, moved up here in 2001, and been here ever since.
Yeah. Well, Stan Justice, hi, Roy. Chris Mix, hey, boys. Stan, hi, Trevor. How you doing? So I have to tell you, I've been looking forward to having you on here since I watched your race. I nicknamed you the Heartbreak Kid because I want to jump in. Let's talk about that night. You led almost every single race of a main event, and you had somebody spin literally the last corner, the last lap, and I think that was for your first win, and it sucked. Sitting in the stands watching, it was like, oh man, that hurt. So tell us what you saw from your side.
I just kept trying to run the line that I was running, seen the white flag, knew all I had to do was just keep running the line that I had. And I figured on that white flag, it was going to be either Ethan or Ryan behind me, and either one of them was going to try the high line I was betting on. So I was going to stick to the low line, and then coming into turn one, I looked up, and right when I looked up, I seen Jace's door, and I looked to my right side and seen Ethan's bumper, and I just figured, you know what, it's not worth destroying both cars, so I lifted, tried to miss Jace the best I could and get back in the throttle. But it just wasn't early enough.
So I have to ask, because I knew who you were from racing at Wairika with the pro stocks and all that, but I didn't know who you were. I didn't watch. When you got a car there, you're working on it. You don't see what's going on the track so much. So this year I've been watching. Have you got a main event win yet, or would that have been your first?
I've actually gotten two. I won once up in Cottage Grove back in 2017. And then I won here back in 2018 when I won the track championship.
Okay. See, I didn't know your background, so I didn't talk about. How long have you been running sport mods?
I've been running sport mods since 2013, so about almost 10 years.
Wow. I didn't know you've been driving that long, actually. See, I'm glad to have you out here to talk about it. So tell us how you got started in racing. That's what I want to know.
I got started in racing actually back when I was real little. My living down in Stockton, my parents were really good friends with a lot of racers at the Stockton 99 Speedway. So hung around there as a baby, and then when we moved up here in 01, my parents wound up working security at this racetrack. And every weekend I basically grew up in these pits, hanging around with like Lenny Toolin, Bruce Rayburn Sr., Jr., Scott Lynch, Budge Toolin. And just growing up with those guys, it gave me the bug right then and there. And I knew one day that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because everybody's always got the same story. I had an uncle that had a dirt car down in Carlsbad, New Mexico. I rode around in one lap and it was like 7 years old. but I never got into it again until I got up to Canandaigua, New York, and saw the sprint cars and the big block modifieds, and then I was hooked from then on. It's just funny. It takes that one thing. But you mentioned Stockton 99. I made my first trip there this year. We streamed some races there this year and all that. I've never been to an asphalt side of it, so it's really cool to. It's cool that that's where you first saw it, and then here it is. It kind of comes full circle in there. How old were when you moved away from Stockton? Can you remember going to the 99 Speedway?
It was probably from about when I was a year old to when I was about when I was a year or 2 years old. Basically,
okay, so
pretty much.
Okay, so your history comes more from the Wairika dirt track side than the Stockton 99 track. That's what I was wondering. I didn't know because racing's racing. Everybody says, "Oh, asphalt this, dirt that." Racing's racing. I found out this year. I love racing, no matter where it is. I'm sure you're the same way. If you get to watch it, it's awesome. So, did you start with go-karts, or did you just jump into a sport mod? Did you go up the ladder?
I started out in the mini stock class back in 2010. I wound up buying Mike Cavay Sr.'s old number 2 mini stock.
Okay.
And I ran that for about 4 years. And then I found a different sport mod class.
Okay, so you and Ethan and some of you guys have raced together quite a while, it sounds like then.
Yep.
Yeah, so I had heard about Wairika, but had never been until I got back into the pro stocks. I drove my first car around 2001 at Warden Speedway and all that, so we're going way back. But I like Wairika. I don't know. It's a small market, but man, this year the sport mod racing down there has been highly competitive. I got to tell you that much. So, did you get a new chassis this year? I have to ask because I know you've been doing this a while. Do you have a new chassis this year, or did you go to work on your chassis?
I actually got a brand new chassis. I've been racing in a Rayburn chassis for pretty much my whole career until this year.
Okay.
I got a brand new GRT this year.
Okay, I was wondering. I know. Yeah. When I say I've seen you race down there, but didn't. I don't know names and things until this year, but I knew your car, and I noticed there was something significantly different in your program this year than in the past. And it's not saying anything bad about the past. I'm just saying it's very noticeable this year. So I was wondering if you did something new. So, you turned in some really good racing. When you got Ryan Peary and you got Ethan Killingsworth, and then you're third and fourth almost every single weekend. You're in good company right there, and you're keeping up with them. As I said, Ethan, the night we were talking about, Ethan wasn't catching up to you yet. I don't think if you would have had that little incident in the corner, you had that one in the bag. I was excited for you. So that's what I said. I had to call you the heartbreak kid after that because it's like, oh, that sucked. That was the worst. So, well, I did get to interview you in Victory Lane. I think you picked up a dash win down there one of the times. So that was really cool. So are you looking at doing anything bigger in the future, or are you just planning on kind of staying in the Wairika, Medford area?
I'm actually, this year after we finish out the Challenge Series, I'm going to go back down to Watsonville to race the Pettit at the end of September. And then my biggest plans is going to be next January, we're going to actually go run the Winter Nationals in Kokopah, Arizona.
Yeah. We're talking about going to Kokopah maybe in January too as a spectator. 2 weeks ago, we were in Watsonville for the first time ever. So it's kind of, the tracks are all kind of going together. That's really cool. And when have you ran any of the other tracks around? I know you said you got a win at Cottage Grove. Where are some of the other tracks you've ran at so far?
I've ran at, of course, Watsonville, Wairika, Medford. I've ran at Coos Bay this year on the Wild West, Willamette. I've raced in Merced, Marysville, Antioch, Chico, Fernley, and Lovelock, Nevada. I've also raced at Rocky Hill Speedway down in Porterville, California, and Stockton, the Stockton dirt track. I ran there too.
Yeah, all the same ones that we run out, actually. So I started the little Tri-State Pro Stock Series to go to Bakersfield for the Bud Nationals, and actually went for the first time this last year.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
and we're back on there for both days this year at the Bud Nationals. So that was the big goal when we started that. Now we got it. Now it's just working on making it bigger.
Yeah.
So, and then Burnley, I've never driven on that track. How fast is that track? I have to ask, because that thing is huge and it looks like it's faster than heck.
It's fast. It's fast. It's big. When you get there, it doesn't really look that big, but once you get out there on the track, it's way bigger than Wairika even.
Yeah,
it's fast. It's hammered down.
Yeah, and I like Coos Bay. I've been there a few times and actually raced there. I like Coos Bay. I like it because at night it's 58 to 62 degrees. You don't sweat and die when you get out of the car and all that stuff. So, speaking of Coos Bay, Dylan, I got to give you a shout out. I got my Dylan Sywell shirt on. He gave me a shirt when we were over there this year, so I got to give Dylan the shout out. So, but no, I was just wondering what your plans were as far as that. Everybody, has different plans, things like that. Have you talked about going to Boone maybe?
I do want to one time. One of these days, I do want to try and get back there.
Yeah, I was wondering. So they said, 939 cars registered there, pre-registered at Boone this year. I couldn't even imagine. When you see those numbers, Wairika, a good night's 130 cars. I couldn't imagine 9 times that many in the pits. It's like, holy cow, what would you do? I can't even wrap my mind around how big that is. What about you?
Yeah, that's a lot. That's huge.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
And I think Kokopah is getting that big too, so I think that's kind of exciting. And what did they have last year? 300 or 400 cars, I think, down there for Kokopah.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was about 300 or 400. Yeah, it was a lot of cars after that.
So I haven't made those trips like that, but you talked about Stockton. I'm really good friends with Tony that has 99 and the dirt track. So I've got to do a lot of stuff at the dirt track. That's another big track. What did you think of it when you ran on it?
It was big and it was tricky. I had a lot of tricky with the corners. Those are really big corners there. Big and flat. I like it.
Well,
It was cool.
Yeah, he shortened it up just a little bit and kind of smoothed out 1 and 2. So he's working really hard to make it better, because I don't know when you were there, he had a tendency to get a little bit of a rut, literally right dead center at turn 1. So you'd see cars way up top and way down bottom, and then they come together coming off. It's hard to explain. If you've seen a video of it, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you've driven on it, you'll know what I'm talking about. When you come off 1 and 2, it just seems like everything merges small right there. Yeah, Sarah, Bobby Killingsworth, Wairika boys. Sarah, absolutely. I had fun in Wairika this year, calling the races and streaming the races and all that stuff. I got to see a different angle than what we've done before. First time I've been in the grandstands at Wairika was this year. I've seen from the other side, but I've never been in the grandstands. It's a whole other atmosphere up there. So, Are you looking at just staying with sport mods, or are you thinking about moving up to A mods? Have you given it any thought as far as that goes?
Probably going to stay in sport mod, at least for now. I've had thoughts about maybe one day moving up to A mods, or even possibly trying late models one day. I think for now it's going to stay in sport mods. I have a lot of fun in this class. It's really fun. It's really competitive.
Yeah, David, Michael Owens, are you guys going to be at 99? That is the plan, that we plan on streaming that particular race on the 17th of September. It's one of the guys from 99 that's always there. Now, I have to tell you, talking about 99 Speedway, have you been back down there since you've gotten older, or have you went back to watch any racing there?
I have not, no.
Well, we went down for 4th of July weekend. They had 6,000 people in the grandstands for the fireworks show and all that stuff. And I like to talk on here where it's me and you talking and people are listening in. But they handed me the microphone, and they have like a little stand outside the announcer's booth. and I was talking on it. And when you see that whole place turn and look at you, I tell you, I had stage fright. I had never had that in my life. I was like, this is different than looking at that many people looking back at you. It was crazy. It was, wow. Yeah. So y'all can laugh at me all you want to, but that was the most uncomfortable I've ever been, was at that track when they did that. So, but Wairika this year, you guys have been doing a great job with getting the stands full down at Wairika this year too. That's what I was saying. It's way different. So what do you see about the town of Wairika? What could we do? Hey Jay, how you doing tonight? What could we do to help Kevin with getting fans in the stands? What is your thoughts?
He's doing a good job. The only thing I can think possibly is to get advertisement. We can get better advertisement, get it more out there throughout, through the town and everything. Because I work at the Ravens Bakery here in Wairika, and there's a lot of people that always say that they didn't even know we even had a racetrack. So I think advertisement is huge.
Yep. So, all right, I'm going to get to it. David, Michael, yes, we are going to be there for sure. Travis Hoppus, I had to put the comment up on here because I if you know Travis, you know. Who's Trevor Tiffie? So tell him, say, Travis, I'm Trevor Tiffie. Don't you ever forget, right? So, now, Travis is such an awesome guy as far as what they're doing at Medford. Kevin is doing... Wairika is such a unique situation. I don't know. That's a lot of headache to take on that responsibility down there. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't want anybody to think I'm bashing Wairika. I love Wairika. But that is a small market. It's hard to bring in big sponsors, whatever. I mean, your town's got, 10,000 people, Mac? I'm not sure of the population, but it's not very big. I'm not being mean but the racing surface at that track, hands down, is one of the best on the West Coast. Anybody that's watching, if you get a chance to come up and run a race at Wairika, take the time and do it. Do a 2-4. Hit a Friday night in Wairika, a Saturday night in Medford. I promise you won't be disappointed. If there's a 3 weekend where you could hit a Willamette, there's another great facility. But how can we advertise? I mean, I know what we're doing here, and I talk about it all the time, and you'll see us doing a whole lot more to help Kevin with the marketing side through Speed Union and through Up on the Bars next year. The same with Medford and a couple other tracks. So I'm going to talk to you as a driver to driver. What can we do to help Kevin? What do you think?
I think we need to I think the way it's been not too bad. I think a lot of things needs to keep up with the track prep and everything. The track is good the way it's been. This year was really good, and I think with the way everything's been running, I think it's been good. I know, like with ours, it's hard to get sponsors and everything. And I think fans, the only thing we really have for advertisement here is he's got the old modified that usually works on our street corner or something. Yeah. But if we could get like small banners or something, around flyers even to hang with all the business, I think it would go a long ways.
You know what I would like to see, and this is my 2 cents thinking outside the box, is you race on Friday nights in Wairika, and I think and hang on just a second. Sarah, Bobby Killingsworth, we have some fun watching Ethan Killingsworth, Ryan, Trevor, Garrett, Jimmy, Chad, Corey, the Boswell brothers, Connor, Jace, etc. You got them all. I don't even know what to say. You're 100% correct. Every one of those names, they put on some amazing racing down there, guys. But back to what I was going to say, it would be really cool. And man, everybody's work schedule makes this tough. Is maybe a Thursday evening, get all the drivers in that area together, or even some of us up there, and just go down into Walmart, like where you see the semi trucks parked, park 3 or 4 cars in there, then go down there by the Les Schwab, park a couple of there, kind of like they do with the monster trucks, and let everybody. That's what got me to go to my first race, was seeing the sprint cars on the side of the road. It wasn't because of whatever. It's like, man, I want to go check that out. We went, and I've been addicted ever since. And I think that's what we can do, but that takes a lot of work. And somebody down in your area is just going to have to come to say, yeah, let's do this, or that, or I got my little mobile stuff right here. We can set up a table down there and just start talking to people and have drivers stop in and say, hey, come see us, get a free ticket, something like that. So, and that's stuff that we can do as racers and as fans that doesn't cost anything. I mean, other than your gas to get to a Walmart or something. So, you're all going to know about it. I know you do it in a heartbeat. You like to go out there and talk to people and stuff like that. So tell me, are you married, single, got kids, don't got kids? Like I said, I haven't got to talk to you much at the pits, so I want to find out about you.
On my own, no kids.
Okay. Matt Kyle. You know what, sir? You're dead on it. Matt Kyle lives, he races with us. He drives the 55 Calhoun Brothers Pro Stock. But he comes to Wairika, loves Wairika, turned his car over and finished the main event all in the same night at Wairika. So he got a little history there. They should team up with Rain Rock Casino to promote large races, especially since they are building a hotel on site. I agree. Once again, Matt, I'm going to say I'm not management. I'm just saying what we as racers could do, but that's another place you could set up. Because that place has always got a parking lot full. So,
yeah, even like a car show, even like start like all the cars come together, where the fans can come check out the cars and learn about the track.
Yeah, and that's I found out. Hey, David, I'll have to talk to you off air about that. I will get back to you off air. You can message me off air. But there's one thing I've learned with this. We all like to talk about what we do. What you said, that would be an awesome time to get together and set something like that up. Let people come up and talk to you. Hand out, I don't know if anybody's got T-shirts. They can hand out T-shirts. Hero cards, whatever. There's all kinds of little things that we can do, and I just wanted to get your perspective on what you see, because you know your community better than I do. So you're kind of breaking up a little bit. I don't know, kind of echoing just a little bit. I don't know what's causing the sound issues, but we got a little bit. So you said you're a track championship. What years were you a track champion down there?
I won the championship back in.
All right. Hey, Trevor, I'm going to back you out for just a second and bring you back in. Sometimes that clears up the sound. Give me 1 second. All right. How's that?
How's that sound?
Yeah, I can barely see it. Sometimes it's without the headset, it echoes a little bit. That's what the problem is, but it's all good. See if I can change something here. All right, let's see if that helped anything. Go ahead and talk, Trevor. Tell us a little bit about how your season been this year. I know you got at least 1 second place run.
A good stretch.
Yeah, I don't know what. Our sound is not working. Are you on your phone? Okay, I don't know what our sound is screwed up. Oh, this sucks. Hang on. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's just got a real bad echo, and then you get real quiet and can't hear anything that you're saying. funny though. Now I got to pick on my friend Dwayne. He's the deaf guy that's always with me. He says, I can hear you fine, Roy, but not Trevor. It's like, there's a joke there, but we're not going to say it out there. So tell us about your season so far, Trevor. Let's see if we got the sound somewhat better. No, it's not working. All right, we're going to have to reschedule this or come back on it just a little bit. I don't know what's going on with the sound. We just lost your sound, so hang tight. Guys, thank you for tuning in. We'll see if we can't get him scheduled in. He said, Dwayne says, I have a Bluetooth that I listen on my hearing aids. Okay, so there you go. He's laughing at me. So